At the beginning of the drama, we are shown a scene of a jewelry shop where some thieves arrive carrying weapons. As soon as they arrive, they start firing to scare the people and begin putting all the jewelry into their bags. After some time, the police also get informed about them. Therefore, a Special Forces SWAT team arrives there. But the thieves find out about their arrival and throw bombs at them. Due to this, some soldiers also get injured. Then a man inside has a heart attack, to save whom a doctor, Mika, helps them. She checks him and says it is necessary to send him to the hospital, otherwise his life could be in danger. But the thieves don't listen to her and hold everyone at gunpoint. Then, through a ventilator, with the help of a secret camera, the police chief sees the situation and tells the SWAT team captain to go inside. SWAT team captain Xing, along with his team, enters through the ventilator and kills the thieves. One thief puts a knife to Mika's throat and also gives her a trigger bomb in her hands. If released, the bomb will explode. Xing smartly shoots him and bravely comes forward and holds the bomb along with Mika. Mika gets very scared by all this, so Xing encourages her, and then both of them together take the bomb to an empty ground, where Captain Xing takes the bomb from her and then sends her away with his soldiers. After that, Xing throws the bomb far away. Then we are shown a scene 2 years later, where Mika is with her friend who has a brain tumor. Mika is making every possible effort to save her. On the other hand, Xing is conducting training for a plane hijacking situation. Then Mika and her doctor team are sent to Captain Xing's camp for emergency rescue training. Only after passing the training will they get a certificate, and then they will be able to practice medicine. The chief instructor of this training was Captain Xing, and Wenbo was going to assist him. Then Wenbo tells everyone the rules there. No one can leave from here before the training is over, and they cannot use their phones either. Wenbo also says, if anyone breaks the rules here, they will not get a certificate. After this, everyone is taken to the ground, and their training begins. Wenbo makes them train very hard, due to which everyone gets very tired. Then 2 girls, using the excuse of their periods, leave from there with Wenbo's permission. Seeing them, Mika also thinks, I can also go to the hospital with permission. Actually, Mika had to show her friend's reports to Dr. Shu, who is a neurosurgeon and whose surgeries have always been successful. Then after resting for a while, everyone is taken towards the mountain. Upon reaching there, Mika asks Wenbo for permission, but she does not get permission. Mika says, it is very important for me to go. Wenbo says, if it is such an emergency, then you will have to write a letter and take permission from Captain Xing. Only if he gives permission can you go. Mika thinks this will take a lot of time. Therefore, she makes a plan to escape secretly. On the other hand, Captain Xing is returning towards the campsite. Here, Mika secretly escapes from there and comes to the main road. Upon reaching there, she does not get a lift. Just then, Xing notices her and passes by but returns after a while and, without revealing his rank, asks her, what are you doing here? Mika requests him, please drop me at the hospital. Xing does not feel it right to leave her here, so he goes to drop her at the hospital. Captain Xing, introducing himself as a soldier from Wenbo's team, starts talking to her. Mika also introduces herself, which reminds Xing of her, but he doesn't tell her this. Then Mika starts telling him the things she has heard about Captain Xing. He is a very strict instructor. Mika also says, I don't like him at all. Xing doesn't say anything to her after hearing all this, and even drops her off at the hospital. Then, in the hospital, Dr. Shu is performing surgery on a very critical brain tumor patient, so Mika, wearing a mask, joins his team. Dr. Shu successfully completes the surgery. After the surgery, Mika goes after him with her friend's reports and talks to him about her friend. The doctor takes her contact number and tells her, contact me after I read the reports, hearing which Mika becomes very happy. Meanwhile, at the training camp, they are searching for Mika. Then Mika goes to a supermarket to buy food, where she meets Xing again. Without saying anything to her, Xing brings her back to the training camp with him. And then upon arriving here, he tells everyone to gather. This makes Mika realize that this is Captain Xing. Then, after everyone arrives, Xing gives everyone a long lecture. Without taking Mika's name, he tells everyone, whoever ran away from here today will definitely be punished, and if anyone breaks any rules in the future, they will be expelled from here without a certificate. After this, he tells everyone to run 10 laps around the ground. Mika is very worried thinking about what punishment Xing will give her. Her friend suggests that she should apologize to Xing and tell the truth about why she went to the hospital. The next morning, Mika goes to Xing's office and requests him, please don't expel me because I really want to do the emergency rescue training. Hearing this, Xing deducts 30 points and gives her the punishment of cleaning the toilets. In the next scene, Mika is cleaning the toilets until evening. Then, her friend comes and tells her, take a bath quickly. The bathroom, along with the hot water, will be shut off soon. Hearing this, Mika runs towards the bathroom, but by the time she reaches the bathroom, It has been closed. Just then, Xing arrives there and gives her the key under the pretext of cleaning the bathroom and leaves. Then, after walking a little distance away, he starts to smile. The next day, a TV director is coming to their training base to shoot a promotional video. Xing tells Wenbo to give the interview, and he himself goes to train the doctors. Meanwhile, Mika is washing her hair after cleaning the toilet. Just then, Xing arrives there. Mika gets startled seeing him suddenly, and her foot slips. Because of this, she falls on top of Xing. Then she apologizes to Xing and gets up. Xing tells her, "Come to training." So Mika says, "I'll come in a while." On the other hand, we see Ruin, who comes here to shoot the promotional video. Wenbo welcomes her, and as they are both coming, Wenbo accidentally drops her bag, causing all of Ruin's things to fall on the ground. Even her important makeup box breaks. Because of this, she gets very upset. Wenbo offers to buy her a new box, so Ruin tells him it's not available here. On the other hand, Xing is training everyone to lower a patient from a height. He tests everyone, in which everyone is divided into groups, and then they work together to lower the patient. Everyone fails this test because everyone lowered the patient incorrectly. Mika defends her group's performance. She says, "We did it correctly." Hearing this, Xing makes her the patient and then tells her group, "Lower her." While they are lowering her, Mika's condition deteriorates, and she understands what mistake they made. Because everyone failed this test, Xing punishes everyone with 20 laps around the ground. Then Mika, after much pleading, takes her phone from Xing because she has to call Dr. Shu. When she calls Dr. Shu, he tells her, "I have studied your friend's case." He also tells her, "You have to bring your friend to the hospital today." Hearing this, Mika runs away from there right in front of Xing. Xing is shocked to see her running away. Then, Mika takes her friend to the hospital to meet Dr. Shu, where the doctor tells her, "Your friend's treatment is possible abroad, but it will cost a lot of money." Hearing this, Mika's friend refuses and talks about accepting her condition. But Mika tells her, "You don't need to worry about money, I will manage everything." After this, Mika returns to the training camp and Xing talks about expelling her again for breaking the rules. Mika pleads with him a lot. She tells him, "I will clean the bathrooms every day, clean the grounds, but please don't expel me from here." Xing says to her, "There is something called rules and discipline. It would be better for you to go home and come back next year." Mika says, "I will not leave from here." Xing says, "Do whatever you want, I will not let you get a certificate." After this, Mika starts cleaning the toilets again. And here we find out that Mika and Ruin are best friends. Then Mika gets a call from Dr. Shu and he tells her, "I have found an organization to fund your friend's tumor treatment." Hearing this, Mika becomes very happy. The next day, everyone comes to the ground. Xing sends everyone for training. He doesn't send Mika. Mika asks him, "Please give me one more chance." But Xing tells Mika, "Go home." Hearing this, Mika gets a little upset, but she was still not going to give up and leave from here. So she waits for Xing to return. Just then, an old man comes there from a village up in the mountains who wanted to thank Xing because Xing had saved his life. The old man had brought almonds for Xing, but no one was allowed to enter the camp, so the guard stops him there. Mika and Ruan keep his bag and say, "We will give it to Xing." The old man is not feeling well, so Mika goes to drop him off at his home. Then it was quite late at night, and it also started raining. Mika had not returned yet, so Ruan was waiting for her outside the gate. Meanwhile, Xing also realized that he had been quite strict with Mika and shouldn't be so strict. Xing thinks, she only ran away to save her friend's life. Then Xing comes outside looking for Mika and meets Ruin at the gate. He asks Ruin about Mika, so Ruin tells him everything. Meanwhile, Mika gets lost on her way back and gets stuck in the jungle. Due to the darkness, she also falls and injures her leg. Mika becomes very distressed by all this. She has injured her leg and there's no one to help her there. Then after a while, Xing arrives there looking for her. Because of Mika's leg injury, she is unable to stand. So Xing carries her to the medical room where Mika applies medicine to her injury herself. Then Mika asks Xing, "Will you send me home again?" Xing says, "You should have known there are no buses after 5 p.m. Xing also says, "What would have happened to you if I hadn't arrived on time?" Mika says, "You were going to punish me anyway, so you don't need to worry so much about me." Xing then asks, "How is your friend's health?" as he now knew everything about her friend. For this reason, Xing doesn't remove her from the training and tells her to take a day's rest. Mika becomes happy hearing this and asks, "Does this mean I can train here?" Xing says, "Yes, you can train here, but you will not get a certificate." Then he gives her a juice packet and leaves smiling. On the other hand, an argument breaks out between Wenbo and Ruin because Ruin arrived late from the scheduled time. Ruin says, "I had some important work, so I got late." Wenbo says, "Everything here happens according to the schedule." Ruin then says, "We can shoot tomorrow." Wenbo says, "You are misusing your media person status." Hearing this, Ruin gets angry and leaves. In the next scene, Wenbo goes to help Ruin with her shoot. Ruin wanted to teach him a lesson. So, under the pretext of getting the perfect shot, she repeatedly makes him jump from the building, causing Wenbo's hands to start hurting. When Ruin finds out about this, she feels very bad and stops him. After the shoot is over, Wenbo apologizes to Ruin for his rude behavior and tells her, "Be on time next time," and leaves, after which Ruin smiles looking at him. Then a parcel arrives for Ruin, which she goes to receive with Mika. When she opens it, there is a makeup box inside, which Wenbo sent for her. Seeing this, Ruin is impressed with Wenbo. The next morning, everyone is taken for rescue training. Everyone is divided into 5 teams and 1 officer goes with each team. Xing goes with Mika's team. The team that brings their patient back safely first will get the most points. As soon as they reach the training site, Mika's team starts rescuing their patient when they receive a message that the other team's patient is in more critical condition and the other team needs a rope to save him. Then Mika's team decides, we should help the other team because their patient's condition is more critical. Then they start helping them. And because of this, Mika's team comes in last, but they get the most points and are declared the best team because they had already checked their equipment properly and then went to rescue the patient. And the decision they made to save the critical patient was also absolutely correct. After this, Xing also tells Mika, learn proper rappelling. Then Mika thinks about who she should learn rappelling from, and she remembers Soldier Lee. Then she requests Soldier Lee, please teach me rappelling. Soldier Lee agrees to teach her. Meanwhile, Xing also comes to teach Mika rappelling, and he finds out from Mika's friend, Soldier Lee is teaching Mika rappelling. Xing then goes to the training ground, where he sees Mika training with Soldier Lee. He feels very bad and quietly leaves from there. Then in the canteen, Mika brings a special dish for Soldier Lee to thank him. Xing doesn't like seeing all this. Mika then sits and starts eating with Soldier Lee. So Xing leaves the canteen without eating and later, to vent his anger, has a boxing match with Soldier Lee, in which Xing beats him badly. Meanwhile, Ruan brings ointment for Wenbo's injury, but Wenbo refuses to take it because, according to camp rules, it is forbidden to take outside items. But Ruan insists, so Wenbo tells her, meet me at the shoot a little later, and leaves. Then, during the shoot, Ruan is taking selfies when Wenbo comes and takes some good photos of her. After that, Wenbo takes her to see the field training. Shortly after arriving there, Ruan needs to use the restroom, and she communicates this to Wenbo through gestures, so Wenbo takes her back to the camp in his car. Upon arriving here, Ruan quickly gets out of the car, causing her shirt to get caught and tear. Seeing this, Wenbo turns his face away. Ruan is in a great hurry, so she wears Wenbo's t-shirt and goes to the bathroom. When she comes back, Wenbo tells her, you look very beautiful today. Hearing this, Ruan starts blushing. Then it's the last day of training, where everyone has to descend from a 27-meter tall building using a rope. Mika has a fear of heights, but still, she goes up the building to complete this round. Mika is very scared seeing the height, but still, she musters courage, grabs the rope, and starts descending. But halfway down, she faints due to fear, causing the rope to slip from her hand. However, because she was attached to the rope at her waist, she descends safely. One of Mika's friends tells Xing she is afraid of heights. Because of this fear of heights, Xing has to fail Mika. Mika's colleagues defend her, saying Mika got the highest points in all other tests, so she should also get a certificate. Hearing this, Xing says, no doubt, Mika is a very good doctor, but because of her fear, she is not qualified for emergency cases. Mika also accepts this. After this, Mika stands in one place, upset. Xing comes to talk to her. Mika says, I am not sad about failing. She also says, I have failed many times after becoming a doctor. Then she tells him about the incident 2 years ago and says, I was very scared at that time too, so a policeman uncle saved me. Hearing uncle, Xing feels a bit awkward and asks, how did you know it was an uncle? You didn't even see his face. Mika says, he was very handsome, but I think he wasn't very young. That's why I said that. Then Mika says to Xing, you look like a soldier because you're wearing this soldier's uniform. If you weren't wearing this uniform, you wouldn't look like a soldier at all. Hearing this, Xing rolls up his sleeves and shows her his physique. Seeing his body, Mika starts laughing at him. Then in the evening, everyone celebrates getting their certificates. The girls take photos with Xing. Ruin also comes there, and she's wearing Wenbo's shirt. Mika asks her about it, so Ruin tells her, I like Wenbo. Then Wenbo and Xing come and sit near them. Wenbo asks Ruan, can I have my shirt back? So Ruan starts making excuses for not giving him the shirt. Xing tries to look at Mika, but Wenbo comes in front of him. Then everyone is called to the front of the stage, where it is announced that since Xing punished them a lot during training, today they will all punish Xing. They put a heart rate monitor bracelet on Xing's hand and then tell him the tasks, saying, if Xing's heart rate goes above 100, he will be punished. Then they make him do many push-ups, but even after doing so many push-ups, his heart rate doesn't go above 80. So Ruan tells Mika, use a beauty trap and pushes her forward. Then they are given a competition in which both have to look into each other's eyes, and whoever closes their eyes first loses. The competition begins, and both are looking at each other. After a while, Ruan pushes Mika, causing her to fall into Xing's arms. Because of this, Xing's heartbeat goes above 125. Seeing this, everyone starts teasing Xing. After that, because Xing lost the competition, they make him drink many strange drinks. Afterward, Mika brings water for Xing. Then, Mika needs to use the bathroom, so Xing takes her to the base in his car. Then they find out that a car accident has occurred 8 kilometers away, so they both go there to help and also call for emergency rescues. The car is hanging over a ditch. Xing somehow goes inside to find the truck driver and sees that the truck driver is severely injured. He comes back and tells Mika the whole situation. So Mika, facing her fear of heights, goes inside the truck and treats him. Then, after some time, the rescuers arrive and take him away. Due to all this, Xing also gets injured on his head, so Mika bandages his head too. Then, because Mika saved the man's life by overcoming her fear, Xing talks to his senior and says, "Please get Mika a certificate too." In the next scene, all the doctors return to the hospital, where the hospital director tells everyone one of the best among you will be selected for Dr. Shou's neurosurgery department. Mika's friend, Yan Shan's grandfather has old connections with the neurosurgery department, so everyone thinks Yan Shan will be selected. Then, Mika tells Yan Shan, "I also want to join the surgery department." After this, Mika and Yan Shan are taking a patient in the elevator when it suddenly stops, and they get trapped inside with the patient. The patient's condition is very critical, and it would take time to fix the elevator. When Dr. Shou finds out about this, he tells them, "Perform the surgery inside the elevator." They are given basic surgical equipment in the elevator. Mika is ready to perform the surgery, but Yan Shan says, "I am against performing surgery inside the elevator." Mika tries to explain to her, "If we don't do anything, the patient could die." Yan Shan agrees, and then Dr. Shou guides them through a video call. Mika follows his instructions and saves the patient. After a while, the elevator is fixed. Upon coming out, the director gives all the credit to Yan Shan because her grandfather has connections with this department. Yan Shan also takes all the credit herself. Then, Dr. Shou sees the blood on Mika's clothes and realizes that Mika performed the operation. Then Yan Shan avoids Mika and goes after the director. The director had only added Yan Shan's name to the list to join the surgery department. Dr. Shou goes there and adds Mika's name too. Then Xing comes to meet Mika and gives her the certificate and also asks her, "Will you go to lunch with me?" But Mika had to attend a meeting, so she couldn't go. Then, during the meeting, the director announces, Mika, along with Yan Shan, will join the surgery department. Hearing this, Mika becomes very happy, but Yan Shan feels a little insecure. On the other hand, Xing loses to a child in Candy Crush, and the child makes fun of him and leaves. After this, Xing is called on a mission, so he immediately leaves for it. Meanwhile, Mika's friend who has the tumor is going abroad for surgery in 2 days. Mika's friend and her mom thank Mika profusely for everything. Then Mika also gives them the good news, saying, "I have finally been selected for the neurosurgery department." Hearing this, they become very happy. On the other hand, Xing and his team get into a shootout with some criminals. During the shootout, a soldier and a criminal are both shot in the head. Xing and his team bring them to the hospital. The doctor checks them and says, "The criminal's condition is more critical, so we have to operate on him first." Hearing this, Soldier Lee gets very angry and says, "How can we save a criminal's life first?" Dr. Shou says, "I'm not a judge to differentiate between a criminal and a soldier. I'm a doctor whose duty is to save everyone's life, and the criminal's condition is more serious, so we have to save his life first." Xing calms Soldier Lee down and makes him understand. After this, Dr. Shou operates on the criminal first and then on the soldier. Mika is also with them. Dr. Shou successfully completes both surgeries. After this, Xing is sitting outside the hospital. Mika asks him, "Do you want to eat something? You haven't eaten anything since afternoon." Then both of them go out to eat. There, Xing tells her about the soldier and says he has done so much for his country, but today, instead of saving his life first, the criminal's life was saved first. Mika explains the whole situation to him and says the doctor's decision was absolutely correct. The next day, Xing talks to his senior and gets permission to take care of his teammate, and with this excuse, he will also be able to meet Mika, so he's happy. Meanwhile, Mika tells Ruin, Wenbo is also coming with Xing today to take care of the soldier. Hearing this, Ruin is very happy that she will meet Wenbo today. Then Xing comes to the hospital with flowers. He gives the flowers to Mika. Mika asks him the reason, and just then, Xing kneels down, which makes Mika think, is Xing about to propose to me? But Xing is tying his shoelaces. He gets up after tying his shoelaces and takes the flowers back from Mika. Seeing this, Mika finds it very strange. So Xing tells her, I brought these flowers for my teammate. On the other hand, Wenbo is taking care of the soldier when Ruin arrives and tells Wenbo, I will also help you take care of the soldier. But Wenbo tells her, don't do so. Just then, Xing and Mika arrive outside and overhear their conversation. Then Ruin asks Wenbo, will you go to lunch with me? But he says, I came here to take care of the soldier. Just then, Xing comes in and says, there's no need for that. I'll take care of him. You can go to lunch with Ruin. Wenbo didn't want to go, but he has to go because Xing told him to. Then Xing's teammate's condition deteriorates. Mika checks him and says he needs a CT scan right away. Then they take him towards the scanning room. As they are taking him into the room, a man stops them. They get into an argument with the man. The man argues with both of them and even pushes Mika. Xing tries to reason with him, but the man, instead, starts fighting with Xing. Xing grabs his hand and pushes him aside, but this causes the man to fall and start yelling, the doctor hit me! People standing there start recording videos of this and the video goes viral on the internet. Then the man files a complaint against Mika at the hospital, which leads to Mika being transferred from the surgery department to the emergency ward. On the other hand, Xing also gets a severe reprimand from his officer. In the next scene, Mika goes to work in the emergency ward, where she gives medicine to a patient without properly checking their details. Although nothing goes wrong, she gets scolded by her senior and is told, assist another doctor for some time. Afterward, Mika is about to message Xing and tell him all this, but then she doesn't. Meanwhile, Xing is told to train other soldiers. Then, Dr. Shou meets Dr. Wei, the emergency ward doctor, and praises Mika. Dr. Wei says, it seems Mika was a very good student of mine. Then Mika studies to work effectively in the emergency department. Meanwhile, Xing thinks about messaging Mika, but can't decide what to message, so he doesn't. The next day, when Mika arrives at the hospital, she is scolded by Dr. Wei because she was late, past 7 a.m. Dr. Wei tells her, arrive at the hospital before 7 a.m. Then Xing comes to the hospital to see his teammate and finds out about Mika's transfer. Meanwhile, Mika gets very tired from constantly attending to patients. The patients Mika was attending to are now assigned to Yanshan. Then Xing comes to meet Dr. Shou and tells him, the man started the fight, so how could he do this to Mika? Just then, Mika also arrives and tells Dr. Shou, I'm fine in the emergency department. I'll work well there now. Saying this, she takes Xing and leaves. Outside, she tells Xing, you don't need to do all this for me. I'm fine in the emergency department. Then, at night, Xing is waiting for Mika's shift to end. After her shift ends, Mika borrows a bicycle to go home. Xing follows her. Mika is getting very sleepy while cycling, so Xing offers her, take a lift in my car, which Mika accepts. Then, as Xing is taking her home, Mika falls asleep in his car. Xing reaches near her house and waits for her to wake up. When Mika wakes up, she thanks Xing. Xing tells her, you shouldn't sleep in taxis at night like this. Mika says, okay, I'll be careful next time. Then, as she goes towards her room, Xing waits there until she reaches her room. Then Mika sees him from the window and smiles. The next day, Yanshan takes food for Dr. Shou to impress him, but Dr. Shou has already eaten. Then Yanshan gives him her thesis to check, but she has never seen the disease the thesis was about. She just wrote it based on online searches. Because of this, Dr. Shou doesn't like the thesis. Meanwhile, Mika successfully performs surgery on an old man's internal injury. After the surgery, Mika messages Xing and tells him all this, and thus their chatting begins. The next day, the old man's family sends many fruits for Mika. Then, after Mika's successful surgery, Dr. Wei is also impressed with her. She meets Mika and says, everything, doctor. Shou said about you is true. You really are very talented. After this, Mika meets Dr. Shou and invites him to dinner, and Dr. Shou agrees. Yanshan sees all this and she doesn't like it at all. Then they both go to a restaurant to eat, where Mika thanks Dr. Shou for guiding her, and also studies a bit by asking him about some cases. Meanwhile, Xing is eating with Wenbo at a restaurant near Mika's house. Actually, Xing went there, hoping that Mika would come, and he could invite her to dinner. Xing keeps looking around for Mika. Seeing this, Wenbo asks him, are you waiting for someone? Xing denies it. Then, a little later, Mika arrives there in Dr. Shou's car. Seeing Mika getting out of Dr. Shou's car, Xing feels very bad. Then he goes to Mika and invites her to dinner. But Mika says, I just had dinner with Dr. Shou. Xing invites her for dinner next time, and Mika agrees and then goes home. After she leaves, Xing has dinner with Wenbo, but he is very sad inside. The next day, Wenbo goes to pick up his mother, but she's not there. He calls her, but he can't reach her. Then he gets a message from Ruan saying, I have already picked up your mother, and we are at the mall. Ruan takes Wenbo's mother on a big shopping spree, which makes his mother very happy with her. Then Wenbo arrives and is a little upset with Ruan for picking up his mother without telling him. Then Ruan books a very nice restaurant for them, where they all can have dinner. Wenbo tells her, you didn't need to do all this. Ruan says, I can at least do this much for your mother. Afterward, Ruin books a very nice homestay for Wenbo's mother and tells her, you can stay here comfortably for as long as you want. Hearing this, Wenbo's mother is very happy. Wenbo then calls Ruin aside to talk. Wenbo asks her, how did you know about my mother? Ruin says, your team members told me. Hearing this, Wenbo tells her, leave me alone and mind your own business. But Ruin wasn't going to listen to him. Then Wenbo brings his mother home. Wenbo's mother tells him, I like Ruin a lot. You should marry her. Wenbo tells his mother, it's not like what you think. We are just good friends. The next day, Xing goes to drop off Mika again because Mika's house is very far from the hospital. Xing tells her, you should rent a house near the hospital. Mika says, the rents here are very high, and I don't earn enough to pay such high rent. After this, Xing goes to pick up his sister. Then, at the hospital, Mika sees a man who needs money to save his daughter's life, so Mika gives him all her money. Because of this, Mika is evicted from her house because she had to pay 1 year's rent in advance. But now Mika doesn't have enough money to pay a year's rent up front, so she is evicted. Ruan tells her, stay with me, but Mika doesn't want to bother her, so she doesn't stay with her. Then she goes to live in the hospital dormitory. On the other hand, we find out that Dr. Shu and Xing's sister already know each other. Then Wenbo, who was ignoring Ruin, so Ruin goes to their base to meet him, where she doesn't find Wenbo, but she does meet Xing. So, in conversation, Ruin tells Xing Mika had to leave her apartment and is now living in the hospital dormitory. She also says Mika isn't accepting help from anyone. She has been like this since childhood, helping everyone but not taking help from anyone herself. Hearing this, Xing becomes worried about her. In the next scene, Mika's friend, Dr. Chen, tells her about a flat. He tells her, although the rent for that flat is high, you can only use one room in it. So the rent is 3,000 wen, and you are not to go into the other rooms. Mika is happy after seeing the flat and decides to live there. She asks Chen for the flat owner's number so she can thank them, but Chen says it's not necessary. After that, Mika moves her belongings into the flat. In the next scene, Xing is going with Soldier Li, and he's looking around on the way. Soldier Li asks him, are you looking for someone? Xing says, no. Then he sees Mika on the way, gets out of the car and goes to her. He tells Mika, I heard you needed a place to live. I can help you. Mika says, no, I found a place. Then Xing offers to drive her home, so Mika says, no, my place is nearby. She even tells him the address. Soldier Li is about to say something, but Xing stops him. Mika then leaves. In the next scene, we find out that Mika's friend, Chen, likes Yan Shan, but Yan Shan doesn't like him at all. Then Mika tells Chen, I need some things for the house. Later, when Mika goes home, some items have been delivered there. Seeing this, Mika calls Chen, and Chen says, these were the landlord's things that were at the house, so they were sent over. Mika says, how can I use them? Chen says, they sent them for you so you can use them comfortably. After this, whatever Mika needs, she tells Chen, and those things arrive at her house. Mika is very surprised by all this. Actually, the flat belonged to Xing, and he did all this in collaboration with Chen. Whatever Mika needs, she tells Chen, and Chen tells Xing, so Xing sends those things to her house. Then Mika becomes apprehensive about all this, so she calls Ruin and tells her everything. After hearing all this, Ruin tells her, isn't it possible that Chen likes you and is doing all this for that reason? Mika says, that's not possible. Ruin says, I think Chen likes you. Hearing this, Mika starts thinking. The next day, Mika goes to the hospital, and Chen brings her coffee and breakfast. Mika asks him, did you bring this for me? Chen says, yes, eat it. Hearing this, Mika thinks that maybe Ruin was right, that Chen might like her. Then Mika goes to Chen and directly tells him, I don't want to get involved in romantic relationships for the next few years. After that, Mika invites Ruin to stay with her for a few days. Chen doesn't understand what Mika means. Then, observing Chen's actions, Mika realizes that he actually likes Yan Shan. In the next scene, Chen calls and tells Xing Mika doesn't want to get involved in romantic relationships for the next few years. Xing gets a little upset hearing this because he had started to like Mika. Then Mika tells Ruan that Chen actually likes Yan Shan. Ruan says, it's possible the apartment owner likes you and is doing all this for you. Ruan asks Mika about the owner, but Mika says, I don't know the owner. Then Ruan tries to find out about the apartment owner and calls Wenbo for this purpose. When Wenbo arrives, Ruan asks him to find out about the flat's owner. Wenbo tells her the apartment belongs to Xing. To confirm this, Mika calls Chen and tells him there's a short circuit in the apartment and asks him to send an electrician. Chen then calls Xing and tells him about it. Hearing this, Xing himself goes to the apartment at night. He sees that all the lights in the apartment are off. Then he fixes the light and turns it on. Mika catches Xing. Mika asks him about all of this, so Xing says, I didn't know you were the one renting my apartment. I asked a friend to find a tenant, but my friend's friend turned out to be Chen. That's why all this confusion happened. Mika asks him, how did all the things I needed keep arriving in this apartment? Xing says, it was all for the tenant, so they wouldn't have any trouble living here. In this way, Xing manages to smooth things over by deflecting. After Xing leaves, Mika calls Ruin and tells her everything. Ruin says, could it be that Xing likes you and that's why he's doing all this? Mika says, there's nothing special about me that would make Xing like me. And anyway, I like that special soldier who saved me from the bomb blast 2 years ago. In the next scene, Wenbo's mother gets lost and calls Ruin for help, telling her, I'm lost. Ruin then goes to drop her home. Upon reaching home, Wenbo's mother asks Ruin to have lunch with her. Here we learn that Wenbo's mother deliberately acted lost because she wanted to meet Ruin. Then Wenbo's mother asks Ruin, do you like Wenbo? Hearing this, Ruin smiles and says, yes. Ruin says that Wenbo avoids her. Wenbo's mother says, Wenbo has no brains, that's why he doesn't understand you. Wenbo's mother asks Ruin to make Wenbo's favorite omelet and then helps Ruin make it. But when they all sit down to eat, Wenbo doesn't like the omelet. Seeing this, Ruan gets a little upset. Looking at her, Wenbo says, now, after eating a bit, it's starting to taste good. Hearing this, Ruan becomes a little happy. Wenbo's mother tells Ruin, eat some omelet too. And right there, Wenbo's mother starts trying to set them up. Seeing them talking, Wenbo's mother calls off the meeting with her friend, whom she had asked to find a match for Wenbo, and says, I found my daughter-in-law. Ruin eats the omelet, but she is allergic to it. Wenbo and his mother give it to her with so much affection that she doesn't refuse. Then, because of the omelet, Ruin starts getting itchy on her neck. So Wenbo applies medicine to Ruin's neck and also apologizes to her. After this, Ruin tells Wenbo, I like you. Upon hearing this, Wenbo is shocked and doesn't know what to say. Just then, Wenbo gets a call from the hospital and he quickly leaves for the hospital. Then, at a supermarket where Dr. Chen has gone, a thief attacks. Due to this attack, several people are injured, so Dr. Chen brings them to the hospital. Then, to save himself, the thief kidnaps a girl and takes her away. Xing and his force chase after him. The thief has weapons and even bombs. Then at one point, Xing and his team surround the thief, and the thief holds a knife to the girl's throat. Xing tells him, release the girl, but the thief refuses. Just then, Mika arrives there because she found out that the girl has asthma. That's why she came. Then, because the thief is covering her mouth, the girl's condition starts deteriorating. Xing tells the thief about the girl's asthma, so the thief demands a doctor. Xing sends one of his men disguised as a doctor to the thief, but the thief demands a female doctor should come. Hearing this, Mika starts to go, but Xing stops her, saying, it could be dangerous for you there. Mika says, if I don't go, the girl's condition will get worse. Then Xing carefully explains what she needs to do there, puts an earpiece in her ear, and tells her, don't panic, I'm right here. Then Xing puts on a mask. And seeing this, Mika is reminded of the soldier who saved her 2 years ago. Now Mika thinks, the person who saved me 2 years ago looked like Xing. Then Mika goes to the thief, and after putting an oxygen mask on the girl, Mika distracts the thief for a moment. During this time, Xing comes up behind the thief, grabs him, and saves the girl. Xing's hand is injured in the process. Mika bandages Xing's hand. Mika is still confused about whether Xing is the special soldier who saved her 2 years ago or not. To check, she again puts her hand in front of his mouth and tries to recognize him by looking into his eyes. Xing has to go report, so he leaves. Mika is still thinking about all of this and she can't sleep. So she calls Ruin and tells her about it. Ruin asks her, if he really likes you, what will your answer be? Hearing this, Mika blushes. Then, due to his hand injury, Xing gets 3 days of leave, so his duty is assigned to Wenbo. Now Wenbo has to train the other officers. When Ruin goes to meet him during this time, Wenbo doesn't talk to her nicely. Then Xing goes to Mika's place to ask about dinner. Mika tells him, I have some work at home, so I can't go. Xing says, then we'll have dinner at home. Saying this, he goes home with Mika and starts cooking. During this, Mika talks to Ruan on the phone and tells her about Xing coming to her house. Xing then calls out to Mika and asks for help tying his apron. After this, they both cook together and then sit down to eat dinner, where they talk a lot. Mika asks Xing about his most dangerous mission. Xing tells her about the jewelry shop incident from 2 years ago, but he doesn't reveal that he has recognized her as the person he saved. At this point, Mika realizes it was Xing who saved me. Mika then asks about his injury. Xing says, I was given 3 days of leave because of the injury, so I won't be going back today. Mika gets nervous hearing this and wonders if he's talking about staying the night. Thinking about all this, she goes to the bathroom, where she blushes at first, thinking about it. Then, controlling herself, she goes back outside to tell Xing to go home. But before she can, Xing asks her, "What are you doing tonight?" Then Xing moves towards her and says, "I will help you with whatever you're doing tonight." Mika, even more nervous, is unable to say anything. Xing comes closer to her and apologizes. "I'm sorry you had to go to the emergency department because of my mistake." Then, as they get very close, Mika thinks Xing is going to kiss her, so she closes her eyes. But Xing turns off the lights and leaves, going to his own apartment and smiling. Here, we find out that Xing lives in the apartment opposite Mika's, as one apartment is his and the other belongs to his sister. Xing is currently staying in his sister's apartment. The next day, Xing goes to drop Mika at the hospital on the pretext of having her dress his hand injury. There, Dr. Shou invites Mika to a friendly party, which Yan Shan doesn't like at all. Then, at the party, as usual, they discuss surgery. On the other hand, Xing's sister introduces him to a girl whom Xing doesn't like at all. Xing's sister is looking for a girl for him, but Xing tells her, "You get married first?" Xing's sister says, "Fine, I'll get married, but then you will have to leave your job and take over the family business." Xing refuses. Then, as they are talking, they see Mika getting out of Dr. Shou's car. Now, Xing's sister didn't know that Xing had rented his apartment to Mika, so she follows Mika to her apartment and sees her belongings there, the same ones that had disappeared from her apartment. Actually, Xing had taken all those things from his sister's apartment and given them to Mika. Now, when the truth comes out, Xing becomes a little embarrassed. Xing's sister understands the situation and tells Mika, "Ask me directly if you ever need anything." Then she goes to her own apartment. After she leaves, Xing asks Mika, "Will you go out with me tomorrow? We both have the day off." Then Mika gets very excited, wondering, where will Xing take me? Xing, too, is worried, thinking about where to take Mika. He then asks his fellow soldiers and his friend Lu Feng for ideas, but he doesn't get any good ideas from them. Finally, he thinks of a place himself. The next day, both of them get ready and meet. Xing is taking Mika to a beautiful lavender garden, but it starts raining before they reach there. On top of that, Xing is called for a mission. So he drops Mika off at a nearby bus stop and tells her, "Wait here for a while. I've asked my friend Lu Feng to pick you up." Now, Mika doesn't know Lu Feng, so she calls Ruan. Then Lu Feng arrives to pick them up. After that, they go to a place for lunch. During lunch, Lu Feng tells them many funny stories related to Xing. Then, Ruan tells them, "I've been pursuing Wenbo, but he's ignoring me." After this, Xing and Mika only exchange good night and good morning messages because both are busy with their work. Then one day, Mika is missing Ming a lot, so she goes to his sister's apartment to find out about him. Xing's sister tells her Xing is busy with work and will take a few days to return. After that, Mika sees Xing's room, which is filled with a soldier's belongings. On the other hand, Xing is playing basketball with Lu Feng. Lu Feng tells him everything about that day. He also tells him Ruan is serious about Wenbo, but Wenbo is ignoring her. Lu Feng then tells Wenbo, "If you don't like Ruan, then I can give it a try," because Lu Feng also liked Ruan. Wenbo says, "I don't have that kind of connection with her." He says this, but inside he feels uneasy. Meanwhile, Wenbo's mother is still trying to bring the two of them closer. For this, she tricks Wenbo into going to a movie with Ruan. But even there, Wenbo tells her, "Leave me alone." Ruan gets upset and leaves. The next day, Ruan goes to the gym, where she meets Lu Feng, and he invites her to dinner to cheer her up. In the next scene, Xing's team members throw a party, and Xing brings Mika along. There, a girl asks Mika, "Are you Xing's girlfriend?" Hearing this, Mika feels a little awkward and says, "Xing trained me to handle emergency situations." After this, Mika and Xing plan to go out somewhere, as they couldn't go the last time either. But this time too, Xing gets an emergency call and has to leave Mika again. Meanwhile, Ruan goes to dinner with Lu Feng, but drinks too much. So Lu Feng takes her to a hotel room and puts her to sleep, then goes to a different room himself. Then Xing gets a little worried, thinking, Mika might be upset with me for leaving like that. He messages Mika to ask if she got home safely. Mika replies, "Yes." Then Xing apologizes, saying, "I'm sorry for leaving like that," and also asks her, "Will you go out to dinner with me 2 days later?" The next morning, when Ruan wakes up, she is very shocked because her clothes have been changed. Just then, Lu Feng comes and explains everything to her, saying, "You drank a lot last night, so I brought you here. I had the female staff change your clothes. I myself stayed in a different room for the night." Hearing all this, Ruan apologizes, saying, "I'm sorry for troubling you so much." In the next scene, there is an earthquake somewhere, and many people are injured. Xing and his team are sent to rescue them. Mika and other doctors also arrive there to treat the injured. Then the teams of doctors and soldiers complete the rescue at one location and move to another. Media personnel, including Ruan, also arrive there for live coverage. Ruan helps the people along with Wenbo, and thus Wenbo and Ruan start talking again. Meanwhile, Mika and Xing both realize their feelings when Xing goes to rescue people trapped in underground mines. He gets trapped himself due to the earthquake. When Mika finds out, she says, I have to go help him, and takes an oxygen mask, going inside the mines with the soldiers. Inside, she finds Xing, but his condition is very critical. He is having trouble breathing because all the oxygen pathways are blocked. Mika has only one oxygen mask, which can only be used by one person at a time. So Mika and Xing take turns using it. Then Xing confesses, I have feelings for you, because his condition is worsening, and at one point he even loses consciousness. Mika tries to revive him with mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but it doesn't work. Then other soldiers find them and bring them outside. A few hours later, when Xing regains consciousness, he asks, where is Mika? Just then, Mika arrives and he is very happy to see her. Then he finally confesses, saying, I love you. Will you be my girlfriend? Mika accepts. Xing then shows her a letter from 2 years ago in which Mika thanked the special soldier and gave him a silver locket. Seeing this, Mika is very happy. Now she is sure that Xing is her hero. This way, they reconcile and become a couple. On the other hand, Lu Fang tries to impress Ruan, but Ruan only sees him as a friend because she already likes Wenbo. Then, seeing Ruan and Lu Fang together, Wenbo starts to feel uneasy. After the rescue mission is complete, the medical team leaves. Xing messages Mika, but due to network issues, the message doesn't go through. So Xing goes to an area with network coverage with difficulty and messages Mika. Then, they chat for a while. A few days later, Xing returns to the city. He wants to spend time with Mika first thing upon returning, so he plans a dinner and gets busy with preparations. Meanwhile, Mika is sent back to the neurosurgery department for performing well in the emergency department, and she gets the night shift on her first day back. Xing finds out about Mika's night shift and is very upset because he has cleaned the entire house and cooked dinner. Since Mika is not coming, he invites his friend Lu Fang over. Then, Mika swaps her shift with someone and comes over. Seeing her, Lu Fang leaves because he doesn't want to be a third wheel. After he leaves, the two sit down to have dinner together, but both are very nervous because this is their first relationship and they don't know how to act. After a moment of silence, they share old memories with each other, which eases the nervousness a little. Xing says, I started liking you during the training. Mika thinks, my first love was the special soldier, but over time, I started liking Xing too. Now they talk regularly. From the next day, Xing gets busy with his training, and Mika gets busy at the hospital. Meanwhile, Lu Fang tries to impress Ruan. Ruan is not impressed. Instead, she gets irritated and realizes, just as I was chasing after Wenbo, Lu Fang is now chasing after me. Ruan decides to give Wenbo some time to think. In the next scene, Mika and Xing go on a date, where they spend quality time together, watch a movie, and enjoy their date. On the other hand, Xing's sister and Dr. Shou are going somewhere together. And here, we learn that they were ex-lovers, but they broke up due to a misunderstanding, and they still love each other. The next morning, Xing messages Mika and asks her, do you want to go jogging? Then, when Xing gets ready and comes outside, he meets his sister at the door, who has just finished her shift. Xing is in his jogging suit. Then Mika also comes out of her apartment wearing a jogging suit. Seeing them, his sister asks, are you going jogging together? Mika says, I'm going to throw out the trash, and leaves. After that, Xing also leaves. Then, during jogging, Mika gets very tired, so Xing has her ride his bicycle. But due to inattention, Mika is about to have an accident with a car. Xing sees this and quickly saves her. After that, they have breakfast together. Then Xing tells her, I have to go on duty at 10 p.m. tonight, and we won't be able to see each other for a week. So Mika says, we shouldn't waste time and should enjoy ourselves. After that, it's time for Mika's shift, so she goes to the hospital, where Yan Shan is not at all pleased to see her. Then, after Mika's shift ends, Xing arrives to pick her up so they can spend some time together before he goes on duty. They have dinner together, and then Xing leaves for duty. In the next scene, Dr. Chen is about to propose to Yan Shan, so he invites her to a music festival in the evening. Meanwhile, Mika and Xing are video calling and saying, we miss each other, when Xing's fellow soldiers come into the room. Seeing them, Mika feels a little awkward. They all say, hello, to Mika, and Mika says, hello, back. Then Mika makes an excuse about work and ends the call. Xing gets angry at them because he couldn't talk to Mika properly because of them. Meanwhile, Chen waits a long time for Yan Shan to arrive, and when she doesn't, he goes to the hospital to look for her. There, he sees Yan Shan going to dinner with Dr. Shou and becomes sad. After that, Chen tries to avoid Yan Shan. On the other hand, Ruan comes to meet Mika and is very upset. She tells Mika, I gave Wenbo time, but he is still ignoring me. Ruan says, I messaged Wenbo after so many days, but he still hasn't replied. Mika says, Xing and Wenbo are on a mission and must be busy, which is why Wenbo hasn't replied to your messages. Then, Ruan asks Mika about her love story, and Mika tells her everything. Ruan asks, has Xing kissed you? Mika blushes and says, no. So Ruan starts giving her kissing lessons. Just then, Mika gets a message from Xing. He's asking her to come downstairs to meet him. Mika goes downstairs to meet him. Xing tells her, I missed you a lot, so I came to see you, but I only have an hour to spend with you. Then they go to a convenience store and eat together there. As they are sitting close and talking, Xing's sister sees them from outside. So Xing tells her the truth. We are in a relationship. Hearing this, Xing's sister tells Xing, introduce Mika to our mother, and leaves. Afterward, Xing takes Mika home, where he gives her flowers. With only 5 minutes left, Xing holds Mika's hand. Even when the time is up, Xing doesn't let go of her hand. Mika tells him, go, but he doesn't. So Mika kisses him on the cheek and starts to leave. Xing pulls her close and kisses her. Then Mika, embarrassed, runs away and blushes profusely in her room. On the other hand, Xing also smiles, remembering all of this after returning to base. In the next scene, Mika finds out from a senior doctor friend of Dr. Shu that Dr. Shu and Xing's sister were school-time lovers, and they broke up due to some misunderstanding, but they still love each other. Just then, Xing messages Mika and asks about a trip. We have 3 days off coming up. Mika agrees to the trip. Xing then plans a surprise trip for Mika and books a beautiful homestay where they will go sightseeing and spend quality time together. Meanwhile, Mika thinks about patching things up between Xing's sister and Dr. Shou. Later, Mika goes home and tells Xing about this. Xing can't believe it because his sister hid this from him. Mika then suggests, let's invite Dr. Shu and your sister on the trip as well. This ruins Xing's plan, as he wanted to go on the trip alone with Mika. But now it's a matter of his sister's life, so he agrees. Then, Mika tells Ruin to come on the trip too and asks her to invite Wenbo as well. Ruin tells Wenbo about the trip. Wenbo initially refuses, but when Ruan mentions, Xing asked you to come, he agrees. In the next scene, everyone arrives at the homestay where Mika and Xing leave Dr. Shu and Xing's sister alone and go out. Then Ruan wants to go hiking, so Mika sends Wenbo with her. Then Xing and Mika also go sightseeing. After they leave, Dr. Shou and Xing's sister start cooking together and reminiscing about their old memories. When they were a couple, they used to cook together like this. On the other hand, Wenbo takes some nice pictures of Ruan. On their way back, Ruan injures her foot. Ruan thinks, Wenbo will carry me, but he doesn't. Instead, he starts helping her walk. When Ruan can't walk anymore, Wenbo goes to get the car. Seeing this, Ruin thinks how clueless he is. After that, everyone returns to the homestay and eats together. Then, at night, they play Truth or Dare. Mika first asks Dr. Shu and Xing's sister about their first love, and they talk about each other. Then Mika asks Wenbo, do you like Ruin or not? Wenbo chooses Dare, so Mika tells him, call a friend and find out a secret about him. Wenbo calls Lu Fang and asks him about his secret. Lu Fang tells him, I like Ruin. The phone is on speaker, so everyone hears this. Then Ruin hangs up the phone herself. Wenbo is unaffected by Lu Fang's confession, which upsets Ruan. Then it's Mika's birthday, and she is celebrating it alone because no one remembered. Just then, Xing calls her and asks her, come outside. When Mika comes out, Xing tells her, get a cold drink from the car trunk. When Mika opens the trunk, it's decorated for her birthday. Seeing this, Mika is very happy. Then Xing tells her, take the cold drink and come with me. He takes Mika to a tent, which Xing has decorated beautifully. He has also put up pictures of all their old memories there, from their first meeting to all the beautiful moments they spent together. Seeing this, Mika becomes very happy and hugs Xing. Then they celebrate her birthday together. The next day, Yan Shan overhears about Mika and Dr. Shou's trip. Thinking about this, she becomes completely inattentive during surgery, so Dr. Shou kicks her out of the operating room. And then, after the surgery is over, he scolds Yan Shan severely, because her one mistake could have cost the patient's life. In the next scene, out of jealousy, Yan Shan deletes Mika's experimental data from her computer because she's afraid that Mika might become Dr. Shu's assistant. Just then, a nurse sees her at Mika's table. Then, when Mika finds out, she is very worried about how her experimental data got deleted. Mika thinks, if I don't submit the data on time, I won't be able to become an outstanding doctor. So she starts recreating the experimental data. During this time, Xing calls her repeatedly. But Mika doesn't notice her phone. Mika doesn't even go home that night to finish recreating the data. The next morning, Xing comes to pick her up from the hospital. Mika tells him about recreating the data. Then they both go home and start cooking. In the next scene, Ruin invites Wenbo to dinner, but Wenbo refuses. So Ruin tells him, I will wait for you until you come. Hearing this, Wenbo comes to dinner later that night. Then Ruin asks him about his feelings. Wenbo tells her, you are just a good friend. Hearing this, Ruin is heartbroken and starts drinking right there. Then, after drinking too much, she goes to Mika's house and tearfully tells her everything. On the other hand, Wenbo also realizes, I have hurt Ruin too much. He starts walking around the grounds in the rain. The next day, Mika consoles Ruin, and Ruin says, I will try to move on soon. Then Mika finds out from a nurse that Yanshan was doing something at her computer. Mika goes to Yanshan to talk about it. When she asks Yanshan about it, Yanshan says, I am better than you in every way, but still, Dr. Shou supports you more, and now he is going to make you his personal assistant. Hearing this, Mika realizes that Yanshan deleted her data. Then Dr. Shou also finds out that Yanshan deleted Mika's data. He tells Yanshan, you didn't need to do that. You are better than Mika in everything. He also tells her, this time, your experimental data was even better than Mika's, and there is one difference between you and Mika. Mika will go to any lengths to save a patient's life, and that is the mark of a good doctor. But you can't do that. You are afraid that if something happens to the patient, you will be blamed. For a good doctor, saving the patient's life is the most important thing. Saying this, Dr. Shou leaves. Then Lu Fang goes after Ruin. Ruin tells him, I don't like you at all, so you should stop bothering me. Lu Fang says, we can at least be friends. Ruin agrees. Then Lu Fang asks her, will you go to a movie with me? And Ruin agrees. They then post about it on their WeChat IDs. Wenbo sees the same tickets on both their IDs and doesn't like it at all. That night, Wenbo goes to dinner with his soldier friends and drinks too much. The other soldiers carry him back. In his sleep, he says to Ruin, Ruin, I don't know anything about love, romance, and all that, and now I don't know what to do for you. The next day, Yanshan goes to resign. Dr. Chen tries very hard to stop her, but she doesn't relent. Then, as Ruan is returning home after work, her car gets a flat tire. Just then, Wenbo is passing by and sees Ruin and comes to help her. Then, when Wenbo gets up after changing the tire, he bumps into Ruin and she is about to fall, so Wenbo catches her. This brings them close. Then Yanshan's mother falls ill and has to be admitted to the hospital. Everyone in Yanshan's family is a brain surgeon, so she was also forced to become a doctor. Because of this pressure, Yanshan always tries to get everyone's attention. One day, Yanshan argues with her mother. Yanshan says, I was never asked what I wanted to do. I was just forced to become a good doctor. Mika overhears their conversation and understands Yanshan's situation. Then Yanshan's mother also realizes becoming a famous doctor is not important. Becoming a good doctor is. She realizes this when a patient suddenly collapses, and Yanshan tries very hard to save him. After this incident, Yanshan and her mother reconcile. Then, while they are eating together, Yanshan's mother tells her, if you don't want to be a doctor, it's okay. You can do whatever you want. Yanshan replies, I want to be a good doctor. The next day, Yanshan's mother has surgery, and Mika and Yanshan successfully perform the surgery together. Afterward, as they are sitting together, Yanshan apologizes to Mika for all her mistakes, and Mika forgives her, and they become friends again. In the next scene, Yanshan is going abroad to study pathology. Dr. Chen goes to meet her. Yanshan tells him, call and message me, because now I have started liking you as well. Dr. Chen is very happy to hear this, as their love story has finally begun. In the next scene, Soldier Lee sends Wenbo to Ruan, asking him to teach his cousin self-defense, because Soldier Lee knows that Wenbo likes Ruan. When Wenbo goes to the location Soldier Lee gave him, Ruan is there. Ruan tells him, a stalker was bothering me, so I asked Soldier Lee to teach me self-defense, but he sent you instead. Wenbo also says, Soldier Lee lied to me to get me here. After that, Wenbo teaches Ruin self-defense, and during this, they accidentally kiss. Ruin says, consider it a friend's goodbye kiss, and leaves. Afterward, Ruin meets Soldier Lee and asks him, why did you send Wenbo in your place? Soldier Lee tells her, Wenbo likes you, and he said so himself when he was very drunk. Hearing this, Ruin asks, then why did Wenbo call me just a friend? Soldier Lee says, he did that because of Lu Fang. Lu Fang also likes you, and he's Wenbo's best friend. That's why Wenbo gave up on you, but he really does like you. Hearing this, Ruin is shocked. In the next scene, Lu Fang calls Ruin and asks her to meet him at a club. When Ruin goes there, Lu Fang proposes to her in front of everyone. Ruin clearly refuses and tells him, I only like Wenbo. Then she gives him a friendly hug and says, I don't deserve your love, and you will find a good girl soon. Saying this, she leaves. After that, Ruin goes to Wenbo for training, where she starts hitting him. Wenbo asks her, why are you hitting me? Ruin says, First, you friend-zoned me, and now, while drunk, you're telling your friends that you like me, and how dare you give up on me for Lu Fang? Ruan hits him for this, and then angrily leaves. On the other hand, Xing comes to meet Mika, and when it's time for him to leave, he starts making excuses to stay the night, so Mika chases him away. Then, using his exercise equipment as an excuse, he moves into Mika's apartment saying, "My sister doesn't let me use the equipment in her apartment." Mika agrees, and Xing is happy. Then he calls Wenbo to set up the exercise equipment. Later that evening, Ruan is coming to Mika's apartment. She sees Wenbo leaving and stops Mika from entering the apartment because she doesn't want to see Wenbo right now. Then Mika comes home, and they cook together. After that, Xing starts agreeing to everything Mika says. Then, to impress Mika, Xing shows her his physique, but Mika is engrossed in her thoughts and doesn't notice. Later, when Xing is exercising facing the other way, Mika secretly watches him. In the next scene, Xing's sister brings Dr. Xiao to her apartment to give him back his camera. They run into Mika and Xing in the elevator. Then both couples go to their respective apartments. When Xing's sister and Dr. Xu are inside the apartment, Xing tries to eavesdrop from outside. Just then, Mika arrives and tells him, "Let them enjoy their privacy." Then she grabs Xing and takes him away. But Xing is still impatient. He wants to know what's going on with his sister and Dr. Xiu's love story. He goes to his sister's apartment, where he finds out Dr. Xiu only came to get his camera. Then he comes back and tells Mika about it. He says they love each other but aren't confessing. The next morning, Mika and Xing start fighting over who gets to use the bathroom first. Then Mika physically stops Xing and goes to the bathroom first. In the next scene, Ruan is going home after meeting Mika when she runs into the same stalker she took self-defense training from Wenbo for. The stalker starts harassing Ruan, so Ruan starts hitting him with her purse. Then Wenbo arrives and catches the stalker. They then hand him over to the police. Coming out of the police station, Ruan tells Wenbo how long this stalker has been harassing her. Then, as Ruan is about to leave, Wenbo stops her. Ruan asks him clearly, "Do you like me?" This time, Wenbo tells her the truth. "I like you." Ruan asks him, "Why didn't you tell me this before?" Wenbo says, "I didn't have the courage to tell you the truth before, and when Lu Fang said he liked you, I thought he was worthy of you, so I kept this to myself for a long time. But today, I want to tell you." Then he stands in front of Ruan and tries very hard to say, "I love you," but can't. So he stands behind Ruan and shouts, "I love you." Hearing this, Ruan is overjoyed, calls the police officers and tells them, "Wenbo has finally become my boyfriend." Then she hugs him. In the next scene, Mika and Xing go to dinner. Before they start eating, Mika gets a call from Ruan, who asks her to meet her because she and Wenbo had another fight. When Mika and Xing go to her, Ruan tells them, "Wenbo doesn't know anything about dating and romance. Wenbo had the day off today, but he didn't come to spend time with me." Because of this, Ruan is angry with Wenbo. Xing tells Ruan, "Wenbo doesn't know anything about dating, but don't worry, Mika and I will explain it to him." The next day, Mika and Xing meet with Wenbo and give him a dating lesson. Wenbo brought 2 packets of popcorn to the movies. They explained to him, "You should only bring 1 packet of popcorn on a date." Then, Ruan wanted to go to the mountains, but Wenbo told her, "Don't go because you will catch a cold." Xing, after correcting all his mistakes, gives him an idea to impress Ruan. It was raining outside, so Xing tells Wenbo, "Take an umbrella and bring Ruan over." Wenbo buys 2 umbrellas. Seeing this, Xing takes 1 umbrella from him and tells him, "Take only 1 so you have an excuse to get close." Then Wenbo goes to Ruan's office. Ruan is still angry with him. Wenbo follows her, holding the umbrella over her, and gets drenched himself. Seeing this, Xing tells him, "I told you to share 1 umbrella so you could get close." Then, when Ruan says she wants to go home, Wenbo puts his hand on her shoulder and walks with her. Seeing this, Ruan's anger subsides. In the next scene, Xing goes on a mission. Meanwhile, Mika performs surgery on a patient. After the surgery, Mika starts feeling sick. When she checks, she finds out, "I have been infected by the patient." She immediately closes the ICU door. Dr. Shou arrives, and Mika tells him about her situation. Dr. Shou checks everyone in the ward. Everyone else is normal, only Mika is infected. Then Dr. Shou tells everyone, "Wear protective suits." Then Mika writes a message to inform Xing, but she remembers that Xing is on a mission, so she doesn't message him so as not to worry him. After this, Dr. Shou treats her, and her condition improves considerably, so Dr. Shou discharges her. Ruan then takes Mika home, where Mika eats dinner and goes to sleep. Later that night, Xing also returns after completing his mission. Ruan tells him everything that happened with Mika. Then Ruan leaves, asking Xing, "Take care of Mika." Xing then comes to check on Mika, but Mika is sound asleep, so he doesn't disturb her. The next morning, Xing hugs Mika and apologizes for not being with her when she was sick. Mika tells him how scared she was, but still, she handled it bravely. Xing then starts taking good care of her and takes her out to spend quality time together. On the other hand, Ruan and Wenbo also go sightseeing, where they spend quality time with each other. Meanwhile, Xing is taking Mika to see the lavender garden when he gets a call from the chief. Xing has to leave Mika again. Mika understands his work and tells him, go. Wenbo also has to go back on duty. So Mika and Ruan party without them that night. The next day, Wenbo goes to buy a diamond ring to propose to Ruan. Xing goes with him. Upon reaching the shop, Wenbo can't decide which ring to choose, so he tries the rings on Xing's finger to see which one would look good on Ruan. Meanwhile, Mika is selected for the LL Medical Center, where she has to go abroad for further studies for 2 years. Mika is both happy and sad about this because she has to be away from Xing for 2 years. Meanwhile, Wenbo finds a ring he likes, so he asks Xing, take a picture of it and send it to Mika so I can get some advice from her about the ring. Xing sends her pictures of 2 rings and asks, which one is better? Seeing the photos, Mika thinks, Xing is about to propose to me. She becomes even more confused about what to do. Going abroad for further studies was my dream, and now my dream has come true, but the timing is wrong. On the other hand, Xing has also decided to propose to Mika and tells his sister, I'm going to propose to Mika. Then Dr. Shou and Xing's sister also patch things up. Dr. Shou tells Xing's sister, Mika has been selected for the LL Medical Center. Xing's sister is upset to hear this. Meanwhile, Wenbo proposes to Ruan. Ruan is overjoyed and says, yes. Then Xing's sister calls Xing and tells him, Mika has been selected for the LL Medical Center. Xing is a little upset to hear this and goes outside. Meanwhile, Mika finds a ring in Xing's storage room and realizes Xing is about to propose to me. She goes to Xing's sister's apartment to meet him, but finds out that he just left. Then she goes outside to meet Xing and says, I won't be going abroad for further studies. Xing explains things to her and motivates her, saying, pursue your dream. Then Mika asks him, what about the ring? Xing says, I brought the ring for you, but now I'll give it to you after 2 years. In the next scene, Ruan and Wenbo are getting married. Mika surprises Xing by wearing a wedding dress. Xing gives her a locket and says, come back soon. Then, Ruan and Wenbo get married. Mika spends the remaining days with Xing and then leaves for her studies abroad. After going abroad, Mika gets busy with her studies, and Xing is busy with his training. When they are both free, they talk on the phone. And thus, 2 years pass. Mika completes her studies and returns, but she doesn't tell Xing that she's back. She wants to surprise him and is traveling on a bus. Mika doesn't know that some criminals are also traveling on the same bus. Mika sees a man taking someone else's bag and calls out, thief! Just then, some other criminals also stand up. Actually, these criminals were involved in drug dealing, which was disrupted by Mika. Then, the police arrive, and a shootout ensues between the police and the criminals. The gang leader's brother is shot. Then all the criminals take the bus passengers hostage. Then the police call the SWAT team. Meanwhile, Mika starts treating the injured man. She stops the bleeding, but surgery is needed to remove the bullet, which is not possible without medical equipment. So she tells the leader, ask the police for medical equipment. Then Mika talks to the police, tells them about herself and says, please send medical equipment. By then, Xing also arrives there with his team. When he finds out from the police that Mika is on the bus, he puts on a doctor's uniform and takes the medical equipment onto the bus. When he takes off his mask on the bus, Mika is stunned to see him. Then the leader becomes suspicious of Xing and starts asking him, what are the names of the medical equipment? Xing tells him the correct names because he had memorized them before coming. Then Mika starts the surgery and Xing assists her. Then Xing makes a mistake while handing her a medical instrument, which makes the leader suspicious. He then checks Mika's phone and says, you and Xing are together. He realizes that they are together. The leader then ties up Xing's hands. After that, he demands a vehicle from the police and says, I will release the hostages only after we escape safely. The police arrange a vehicle for them. As they are leaving, Xing manages to free his hands and starts fighting them. Seeing this, the other soldiers come to his aid. Xing kills the others, but the leader escapes and holds Mika at knife point. Xing fights him and gets stabbed while protecting Mika. The leader is about to attack Xing again, but Mika shoots his hand with a nearby gun. Then Mika quickly stops Xing's bleeding. Other soldiers arrest the leader. In the next scene, we see a hospital scene where Xing has now recovered, which makes Mika very happy. On the other hand, Dr. Shou proposes to Xing's sister, and she accepts. A few days later, Xing takes Mika to the training base as a surprise, where Mika reminisces about her old memories. Then Xing takes her to the top of a building, where they talk for a long time. After a while, Xing tells Mika, Look down. There, it's written, Doctor. Mika, please marry me. Seeing this, Mika is overjoyed. Then, Xing takes out a ring and proposes. Mika happily accepts, and they kiss. Here, a short flashback shows that while Mika and Xing were on the roof, Ruin, Wenbo, and the other fellow soldiers arranged all of this. Then they come down and share the good news of their engagement with everyone, and the drama ends with this happy ending.